Okay, hi everybody. I am here. I promise. Oh my gosh, sorry I was a little bit late, but I'm here. Okay. Yeah, welcome to Oh my god, it's Sunday morning. You're watching Ballerina Badass. My name is Georgia Reed, and today, point shoe party time, sewing some more shoes. So, you know, to be honest, of course I do these live streams because it forces me to sit the heck down and sew my new shoes. Yay. This is what's crazy. So, first and foremost, I am not getting paid any money or sponsorships or endorsing or any of those things. Okay. Nobody is paying me to do this. So when I talk about like the particular shoes that I'm working on or the shop where I got them or anything, I'm not getting anything from them for this. Okay. So this is on me. I did go to a shop that I love. It's a shop in my neighborhood area called Activity Pointe, and I do love them very much. And I went in to get new ballet slippers. I've been wanting these for a while. They're by block. It was a block day, man. I got the block slippers. I got some block Endura pink tights. I need like a lot more tights, but I mean, you can never have enough tights. And of course, more hairnets because, you can get them online. Back in my day, and I know I've said this in other videos, but back in my day, they were available in like a CVS all the time. And now, nope. So the funny thing about these shoes is that they were like, what's your street shoe? And I was like, oh, 7.5. Oh, that's right. They were going to measure my foot. We didn't get that done in time. But they were surprised that I go so much smaller on my shoes because I want them to really mold to my foot. These are almost too small, but I want them that way. I don't know. I just love the way they look. So I don't know. I'll see if I can put one on for you. I also got these really great European pink tights. They're gorgeous, and you can do them like a little half toe. They've got a heel, but then you can just pull it down over your foot if you want for a full toe. So I'll slip on the shoe. I mean, look, with my bunions, I know they're not like the prettiest thing on the front because these do not cover the bunions. If anything, I feel like they accentuate the bunions, but I want a good, nice fit on my foot. So like, look at that. It just goes right into the arch, which I freaking love because my leather ones, they just bunch more. Now I love the leather because it's just, I don't know. I've always been taught it's good to use leather because you're working through it more and you have to work your feet harder. But for whatever reason, I decided I wanted to also have these, especially when I'm doing like auditions and performances and things like that. So, and then here's what they look like from the front. So bunion, yeah, magic. But yeah, they fit like a glove. So I really like them. Anywho, yep, that's pretty good. Do I like that? Yeah, I do. I'm still the obsession, you guys. Well, this is what I wanted to talk about today. Oh, let's get through what shoes I'm using first. First and foremost, the shoes. So I went in not planning to get Pointe shoes, but I did have a Christmas gift card, and Pointe shoes are so awesome and addictive, right? So I tried on some shoes. And I said, guys, I want something with a good, solid platform for turning and balancing. That's what I'm looking for. I'll be doing another video. I'm finally getting around to doing my perfect fit, the perfect Pointe shoe insert fit. So I'll be trying that, and I'll do a full unboxing video with it and everything. I'm sure it's been done a million times by now, but I don't care. I'm doing it for myself. So, But I want something really solid. Because I want to keep working on my turns, and I realized that I think that could really help. And my shoes before, had such a tapered toe, and especially with my wobble ankles. On the one hand, it's like, oh well, I don't know. I'm trying something new. I could sit here and pontificate on the merits of a smaller platform versus a bigger platform, what different dancers think depending on their feet and their balance, and am I just too weak to hold myself up, or do I need to strengthen my adductors and rotators more? Are my ankles still too weak, or do I need to just keep strengthening? Blah blah blah. Here's the funny thing. So these are Suffolks, and the last time I got Suffolks, I hated them. They were so hard in the box. I couldn't do anything to get that box to move. I'm not talking about the shank, y'all. I'm talking about the box. It was just, it felt like I was putting a rock around my toes. Horrible experience for me. Now, I've seen other people who use them and love them and live by them. So that was just my personal experience. And they told me they think that I had gotten the Stellars that time from wherever I got them. This time, we're doing the Suffolk Spotlight. And this is a 4.5 double X. And I put them on and they felt amazing. All right. Just loved them. Boop. They're not going to balance because they're already a little bit broken in because I put them on. But anyways, this is what I'm sewing today. I'm not going to do the darning. You know, if you need to see the darning video, you can go and find that in my favorites, in my playlists, how to darn point shoes. But yeah, so I'm going to start with the basic elastic. Cha-cha. And then I'm using the other ribbons. Where did the ribbons go? Ribbons! Here. Aha, there they are. The stretch ribbons by Block. I love these. I mean, whoever finally invented these, they don't last as long, it's true. But oh my gosh, they're so much better on the tendonitis. You know, if you have any of that, or, you know, for me and my ankle right back there, it just doesn't put all that pressure on or constrict it. I can really go up and down and flex and point so much more easily. So yeah. Now back to what I was going to talk about. It was so interesting because, you know, I took all this time off from social media, from everything, which was refreshing, you guys. Part of me, yeah, you know, it's so, it can be gratifying to share your experiences and everything, but I was raised in a very, a very religious household, but, you know, one of the big things they were always talking about was, you know, pride goeth before a fall, and be humble and don't talk about yourself. That was a big thing. It's, believe it or not, I mean, I'm sitting here talking about myself, but it's really hard, like, you know, especially as an actor where you're supposed to be out marketing yourself all the time, and you meet people and it's like, hey, how are you? And like, well, I just booked this and I'm doing that. And apparently you're supposed to be that way. And I was never into that. You know, my whole thing is you meet someone, you ask them about them. How are you doing? What do you do? What do you like to do? What's your family like? How are they? That kind of thing. So social media in and of itself, always posting about yourself, always looking at yourself, always thinking about yourself. It seems super self-centered, right? And I've done it, you know, I've tried, and I just get sick of it after a while. Sorry, I'm a little sniffly. Oh, that's attractive. We're going to totally do this, guys. Ready? Yeah. Okay, so then though you get back on there and you're like, I'm going to use it to inspire and to entertain and to help people or that kind of thing. So I keep on trying to think of how to, you know, how to share my journey, how to share the progress photos, but without it being that self-centered way. I don't know. Anywho, I'm looking at some posts from fellow dancers and from like dancers in their teens, you guys. And they're saying things like, oh my God, I'm so fat. And then the comment comes from another girl saying, not as fat as me. And they're like posting photos. They're posting photos with these comments of like truly obese people or animals or things like that. And then underneath they'll comment. And I know these people, these girls, and they are tiny. They are so thin. And at first I was like, what the hell? And then I'm like, wait a minute. Hello, you know. I've always been that way. I've always been had a sense of body dysmorphia as far as never feeling like I was thin enough, always wanting to be thinner. And then beyond that, even on the days when I did feel thin, then there's like this pressure to not lord it over other people. So if there's other dancers around me who they're feeling fat, well, I don't want to be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I feel pretty thin today. Instead, you're like, oh, I know, right? Me too, totally. Because there's that wanting to, you know, feel accepted and that you're not full of yourself and stuff. So but it broke my heart to see it. It's continuing. Is it ever going to stop, you guys? Ever? And I say this even now as someone who, when I look in the mirror, my poor husband, every day I'm like, oh my gosh, I mean, I've got to be carrying minimum 5 to potentially 10 pounds. I don't weigh myself, see, because that's part of the reason I don't weigh myself is so I don't go cuckoo. But then I'm like, well, you're kind of going cuckoo anyway, because I can feel the difference. And just having that little bit of change in weight and that little bit of change in tone, because I'm not dancing 8 hours a day, it's hard to feel comfortable in my skin like that. And I don't know if that's just a dancer thing or a human thing. I want to think dancer, because all you do is stare in the mirror all day, and you get to the point where you're so obsessed you can tell by inches, by centimeters when things shift in either direction. I saw a post, one girl said, oh, I haven't danced in 2 days and it feels like 2 weeks. I totally get that. I so get that. Oh my gosh. So I want to know, what can we do about this? Is positive self-talk the answer? Do we, because I have to look in the mirror sometimes and just say, Georgia, you are thin. You are so thin. No, I'm not supermodel or prima ballerina thin. Absolutely not. But I'm certainly not fat. And being that mean to yourself, even verbally, that does take a toll. It's not healthy, you guys. I say that to myself too. I mean, it just has a negative impact, and it causes stress. You want about getting stress fractures. Well, if you believe in all of that, mental connections and what you think is what you are, constantly beating yourself down verbally and mentally, that causing stress I believe, could lead to stress fractures. Maybe I'm wrong, but anyways, it's just interesting how it keeps on happening. So that's my first little ranty rant. I am, by the way, I put my elastics about here. I put it on either side of the seam. If I put it too far that way, the heel won't stay on for me. But if I put it directly in the middle, which I've seen people do, it's too much pressure on my heel. So I kind of go in between. And I do like to sew around the whole piece like a little square. If you can see on the inside, I am going to go all the way around there. So, all right. Oh, the news. So the news is I booked a really awesome voiceover gig. I am very excited. I can't tell you what it's for because I signed an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. And if I tell you, I am dead meat. So, yeah. And if there's anyone out there who doesn't know what an NDA is, that's because you want to sign it so that they can protect their assets, they can protect the project, and not, have anyone releasing any information before they're ready to tell the world about it. So yeah, but I'm really excited. So I see there's a few people online. Yay. You guys, do you have any questions or comments for me? I know it's early Sunday morning here out in California, but it's not everywhere. So... and you guys can always go back and watch it later. I want to know if anyone has any new goals, if anyone has any new shoes they are sewing, how is their dancing going, how is life going? Mine is, I think, pretty freaking awesome and happy. I'm in a good spot, I gotta tell you guys. Things could always be worse. But yeah, be sure to hit me with the comments. I want to hear what you think about the whole fat thin thing and body dysmorphia. And, if you struggle with it, I wonder if there's any dancer who doesn't struggle with that, who just sits there and they're like, yep, I'm good. I'm thin enough and I'm happy about it. I cannot imagine who that would be, but if they're out there, I would love to know. Crazy. All right. So we're getting this one done. I have got to finish up my first section of stretching and then take the photos for the 60-day stretch contest that I'm doing with the Academy of Dance. It's, again, not paid to endorse this, guys, just something that I have been noticing online and wanting to try, and I decided, that's it, I'm going to try it. So I haven't done every single day of stretching, so I am not on target, but I'll make a separate video about that. Okay, so, oh, by the by, if you're interested, I like to use dental floss. I know there's different theories. Using a strong thread is could be better because it's, I don't know, it won't slip out as easily. But on the other hand, I feel like when I want to make changes to my shoes, or I want to cannibalize the ribbons and elastic from these shoes when they're dead to the next pair, I like a thread that I can easily pull out with like a seam ripper, you know, and the dental floss just comes right out. And especially if you sew your ribbons while you're performing, instead of using tape or whatever else, which can so easily fall out while you're moving on stage, by sewing it, if you, again, need to quick change your shoes for another act or a different piece you're performing that requires a stronger or softer shoe, again, you can really pull it out a lot more easily than the regular thread. So I'm gonna now put the shoe on. Oh, that's right. I need to see which shoe goes with which foot, because I do have slightly different feeties. Let's see here. You can see I have all my, some, not all, a few of my daughter's shoes. See, this is what happens to my shoes, especially with when you are using for ankles. Okay, let's see here. Left foot. Now remember, for a long time on my previous videos, I was not using anything in my shoes, but I've changed my feeling on that. It could be that I'm getting lazy. It could be just trying something different. I'm using the toe pads, I know. And then I'm gonna try that Perfect Point stuff. But I gotta say, this is so super lazy and awesome. You just put them on, shove them in, and go. And that is a lot easier than having to tape up all the time. Although I do still like to tape, because there's always that one toe that just decides it's not happy about life and gets a little blister. So yeah, and I started out as a child with the lamb's wool. I sure did. I don't use lamb's wool now because to me it moves around too much. So let's see which shoe will go on which foot. There's our lefty. Here's our righty. And I need to make sure I tighten the drawstrings. These are not elastic drawstrings. I'm not a huge fan of non-elastic drawstrings, but okay, let's see if I can turn the thing around so you can see. I know that's attractive, right? Let's turn it around. You can see my messy garage. All right. Get up on the stage and see. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm going to feel just how they feel down here. Yeah, that's pretty good. My feet are a little, what's the word, swollen right now. They have not been warmed up a lot. Let's see. That feels pretty good. Yep. Okay. Try them the other way. I don't know why. I feel like they're going to go the other way. That probably sounds weird and what's the word? Superstitious, but it is what I'm thinking for some reason. Okay. Let's see here. I know there's some people who can switch their shoes. I cannot. They just, each foot is different in many ways for me. Yep. Nope. That feels better. That's how they want to be. Okay. So that is the shoe. Ah, that is nice. Yeah. I'm sickling a bit on the right foot, but oh well. Okay, let's come down. No more messing on around. Okay. They are still harder in the box, but that is kind of nice. I feel like they're actually going to hold up. And they do come up a little higher in the wing area right here for some nice support, which is really great for my bunions. And for me, I tend to go a little narrower. Oh my gosh, you guys, narrower, because wow, you guys. Vicky and Lisa at Activity Point were like, oh my gosh, your feet compress. They're so compressive. For whatever reason, for me, with my bunions, you think, oh, she needs to go way wider. When I get a wider shoe, then everything, like my whole foot sinks down into the bottom of the shoe and it's like, but when I have something that's a little bit narrower, it almost like keeps pushing my foot up out of the shoe a little bit more. It feels better to me. So that's what I go with. Now, I don't want to do anything more to these. I don't want to tighten these much more. Let's see. So let's name them. Did I bring a pen? Yay, I did. So I like to note the shoe, name it, as you guys know. I'm going to call this L1901. And the reason why is it's the left shoe, it's 2019, and it's the first pair for 2019. We'll see how long that lasts. And this one will be R1901. I know. So let's get these tightened. Here we go. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Bloop. Ooh, there are messages. Yay. Hi. Dancer 44 says I have the same problem. Oh, okay. So yeah, you guys are with me. The little computer thing, it's YouTube changes things and updates things, and then you don't know what the heck is going on. I guess, okay, so I could put this in a bow and, change the tie later, but I don't think I want to do that. I'm just going to get it tied, not horribly tight, but tight enough that it's now nice and smoothly, there's not gaps around my foot. And then I'm going to trim these puppies because I do not want these things sticking out. But on the other hand, I've had times, you guys, where I trim them a little too close and then the knot comes out and you're screwed. If I have, do I have my nail polish in my awesome kit? Let's see. I do. Okay, so I have the nail polish, and it's like a very light creamy color that'll match. I can put a little bit of nail polish there on the knot, and that will make it harden and stay put. So no moving. Here, I'll show you guys what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the point shoe right here and just dab a little bit on the knot itself so that it will not untie. Not. So silly, Georgia. Okay, on a separate note, you guys, there you go. So I'm going nuts because the casting directors for the Bob Ross Gwen Vierdon TV show that they are developing, and it's about to go into pre-production, or it is, they contacted my manager and they went and visited my YouTube channel. And we haven't heard back. Oh my God, I am like dying. I would just give anything. Well, not anything, not my family, not my legs, but almost anything to be on that show. I love the Fosse style and technique. The whole story, when I was a child, I watched the movie Cabaret millions of times because, you're in St. Louis, Missouri. You're not going to go see the show on Broadway, obviously, but I wrote my thesis paper in high school on that movie, the film, which if you haven't seen Cabaret, the film from like late 70s, early 80s, oh my God, it's amazing. I've watched All That Jazz a zillion times. It's just, I performed, when I was with Ballet Hispanico in New York, I got to perform a piece that Anne Ranking had choreographed. It's just like, I would love to be on that show. And I think it's, rehearsals are coming up in late February, or the shooting's going to start pretty soon. So I don't know if they passed on me, but hold a prayer because that would just be incredible. Plus, of course, being back in my favorite city in the world, New York City, would be. So, yeah. I see a question here. What brand of point shoes do you have? These are the Suffolks, but they're the Suffolk Spotlight. All right. So, again, I was saying earlier, there's another kind of Suffolk that's way harder. I tried to find them. I don't think I have them in here. They're in another bag. And I've got to do a whole Georgia reorganizes her dance room video. But they were way harder in the box. And just were not working for me. So I said, well, that's it for Suffolk. But guys, never completely write off a point shoe, okay? Because these have a much better, well, for me, a softer box. It's still pretty hard, though. So I'm getting the support, but I don't feel like I'm literally shoving my foot into the middle of a boulder, okay? Anyways, what am I doing now? That's what I'm doing. It is so Sunday morning, you guys. It's ridiculous how Sunday morning it is. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's nice. YouTube put a little note there. Remember to guard your privacy. Yeah, I know. So now that I've started the elastic, this is like the slowest point shoe sewing thing ever. Put it back on. So there's the shoe. Bloop, bloop. I'm going to take the elastic. We're going to bring it around and feel where's a good spot. Now, this is a pretty good cut. I think we're okay to just sew it basically right where it should be. It'll be tight enough. Yeah. I'm tempted to do a cross, you guys. See, here's the thing. As far as aesthetically, I'd love to do a crisscross on these shoes. But I've noticed with crisscross, it tends to pull my foot, my arch back on the shoe, and that's kind of annoying. But you know what? Let's see, if I pull there, I'll do this. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing here. This is what I'll do. So I've got the shoe, right? Let me turn this way. Maybe you can see a little better. So here's the shoe, and here's what I'm doing. I'm pulling on the different areas that I want to pull up right on the shoe. So here's where my arch is. You can see my arch is right in here. So I want to make sure that the shoe is pulling there. So that's where the ribbon would go in theory. And then here's the elastic. And the question is, for me, is that enough support? It should be, right? But then there's times where, because my arch is just so crazy, I'd want to crisscross. Where's that other piece of elastic? So the other piece of elastic would come here and go directly under where the ribbon is. So you don't see it, but that way it's pulling again across that way. And I'm tempted to do that with these again. I haven't done it in a while. You can see in my older pairs, I used to do that. I used this very see-through elastic, which is really cool, but it breaks down really fast. And it is not really reusable. Once you use this elastic, it's, for me at least, it doesn't transfer well to another pair of shoes. And I go through so many, I like to just reuse my elastics. I'm sure there are ballerina stars out there who never have to use the same pair of elastic twice, and it's just magical and marvelous. What do you guys think? Should I go ahead and, let's see. Oh, someone else crosses theirs. Yes. See, it is pretty. I know. It is aesthetically pleasing. Let's do it. Let's crisscross these because guess what? As I said earlier, when you use dental floss, this is Kroger. They also have Glide. That's what I used to floss with, whatever. It's easier to pull it out. So let's do it. Okay, we're going to crisscross, which means more sewing. Okay. Oh, well. What else are we going to do today on a Sunday besides, of course, everything? You'll love this, you guys. My manager is amazing. So she got me the amazing voiceover gig. I mean, yes, I had to go and audition and get it myself, but she's the one who got me the opportunity, who got me the appointment, and ended up closing the deal. So awesome. And then, you know, being even considered for the Bob Fosse, Gwen Bearden show, amazing. But then last night I got to do, I had to put together an audition for playing a robot ballerina. It was like, you know, basically a robot who's like a Siri. That was fun. So yeah, I got to play with that a lot. Maybe I'll show you guys the audition some point. Okay, so let's do another one. Bloop, bloop, same thing. I try to make sure I match. Oh, there we go. Match them. I like things even. But once I measure it, it's interesting. It may or may not end up using the same amount of elastic to get over the foot, if that makes sense to you guys at all. So we shall see. I always like to start. Now, this time I'm not doubling the thread. Sometimes I do double the thread. Sometimes I don't. But sometimes it's just because I'm running out. I know there's more in here, but I'll be like, wait, I can use this if I don't double it. There's enough there. Make sure your knot at the end is really tight, because if the knot does slip out, especially if it's dental floss, it will come out really quickly, and that's not great. You don't want your elastic popping while you're dancing. So I like to start from the inside, but right up at the edge, because the thing about the knot is if you make the knot too big and it's on the inside, it's going to rub on your foot and it's going to create blisters, and it is awful. Some people, I think, might even want to put their knot on the outside. I don't, but it's tiny enough, it's not going to rub for me. And then I'll come around again from the outside just to start it so that it's sort of locked in. Now I'll go in and out across the top. Another thing to consider, especially with drawstring shoes, if you're going to change your drawstrings, maybe you're not going to cut them this short, you're going to leave them long, and some days you want to loosen them a bit because it's not dry yet. Because, I don't know, your feet are a little bit more swollen or whatever you're feeling, or your ankle's bothering you, then you want to make sure you don't sew through the drawstring, okay? So I'm going along the top of the canvas, and then I'll go around it, but I won't actually sew through the drawstring if I feel like I'm going to need it again. With these, I've cut them, I've sealed them with the nail polish, so it's not as important to me to avoid the drawstring, but keep that in mind when you're sewing. Oh my gosh, you have an ABT summer intensive today? Okay, Dancer 44, stop everything, you guys. We have someone who's doing an ABT intensive today. Awesome. First of all, congratulations. Even if it's something that you just signed up for and paid for to go, congratulations, because you have the courage and confidence to go and do something affiliated with one of the best companies in America. That is amazing, amazing, amazing. So, first of all, wear something that you feel fabulous in and you feel comfortable and confident in. There may be a leotard that you're like, I should wear this or I should wear that. Even if you have to wear black, you know we all have like a lot of different black options. But you don't want a leotard that you're going to be constantly pulling on, because if they see that, that comes across as, you know, nervous and unconfident. You want to feel good, okay? So number one, wear something that you feel really good in, okay? And if you're gonna, of course, feel bad about yourself in general, as I was talking earlier about the whole body dysmorphia thing and fat, okay, then girlfriend or boyfriend, you need to do some serious self-talk in the mirror this morning. I want you to be giving yourself all the best compliments in the world. Do some visualization of your favorite choreographer or director or teacher just loving what you're doing, okay? And keep that in mind and remind yourself, every time you look in the mirror today at the intensive, if you're going, oh, that was horrible, then I'm not kidding, go, that was awesome. That was fantastic. If you fall on your ass, and yes, I said ass, people, get right up and say, that was awesome. I will share this story a million times until I'm 90 years old. And if you guys are, oh my God, the way I'm talking, I probably sound like 90. If you guys are still watching this and I'm still doing these videos when I'm 90, I'm going to say, I remember the time when with Kansas City Ballet, it was my first day on the job with Kansas City Ballet. You know, you're in the room with all of these company dancers who have total seniority and they've been there a while. You don't know any of them, right? And I go for like a triple pirouette. I fall on my ass and I got right back up and I finished in 5th. And then I walked off of the floor and went around to the back. And one of the guys in the company said to me, oh my God, that's so awesome. You totally went for it. You didn't care. He said, all these other dancers here, they're so nervous and scared. They won't even, you know, take any risks. It was really cool. I'm not saying throw yourself around the room and, you know, don't care about other people. You need good etiquette, but confidence. Finish every combination like you are on stage. So many dancers these days I've seen will go for the triple or the quadruple, and then they just walk off. And they walk off with their bellies out, and they're standing off stage like this, and they're leaning on the bar. No, you are on stage, okay? So when you finish, dun, 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 come up out of the turn, close 5th. If there's other dancers who are trying to push you off stage because there's like a big group coming, then do it faster, all right? Do it politely, but finish in 5th every time like you are on stage. I'm not kidding you guys. Every time I would do a combination, I would pretend like I was doing it for me, Lincoln Center, okay? That's my dream, right? And it's like every time, Lincoln Center. And you don't have to be snobby about it, but confident about it, okay? Every single time. At the bar, finish the combination at the bar in 5th. Give it an extra second, okay? I know if they're saying, and go to the other side and go to the other side. Great, fine. Listen to the teacher every time. Just pay attention to what they're doing. Sometimes everyone just starts learning the combination. Watch the teacher, okay? I like to watch them practice the combination once, and then they'll show it again. If this happens to be an intensive where they only show it once, okay, you have to do what you have to do. But I like to watch and watch for the details. And then the second time around, then I'll start marking it, right? When you mark your arms and head full out. Do as much as you can full out. Don't do the with your belly out and you're kind of, yeah, it looks cool. I know you're going to see other girls and guys your age and your teens, and it's going to look cool. And I'm not saying you have, again, it's not about being snobby or thinking you're better than them. And they may think that about you just because man, the one thing I don't like about the ballet world is just the cutthroaty, like, if you're confident in yourself, suddenly they think they're like, oh, you think you're better than me? And it's like, no, I don't think I'm better than you. I'm here trying to perform, that's it, okay? So whatever. Stand in the front of the room as much as you can. If you don't feel comfortable standing in front, go to the second row back or go just off to the side a bit. Don't stand in the far back. Don't, because you're going to make your mistakes regardless. And trust me, I've been in the front. We see everything you're doing. We see it. And if you come out in front and you're, it's not like, ha, but it's that very much like, yep, I'm here. You get the most room in the front, you guys. It's just the best place to be. More room to move, more room to do stuff. It's wonderful. Be nice to the other dancers around you. Be polite, okay? And have fun. Above all, you gotta have fun with it. So you make mistakes, whatever, laugh it off. See if you can find one other person in the room that you kind of get along with, or you can at least sort of look at and have that moment of like, something like, we're in it together. Really be mindful. I know you could go to the front every single time. And I think that if you're going for prima ballerina status and you want that, and that's your style and your personality, go for it. I like to always yes, I'll be in front on one side, but then the other side, I'll sort of look at another dancer and say, did you want front this time? Kind of like an etiquette thing. You want to be polite, but you don't want to sacrifice your opportunity to show them what you have just for being polite for the dancers. It's a balancing game, right? So that you just have to think about that with your personality. What else? Find a good place at the bar. Get there early. Get there as early as you can. I know everybody is. And also, you're going to see girls around the room and guys who are infinitely better than you. No matter where you go, you're going to see people who are stretching way higher or doing way more turns than you. When you see that, if it intimidates you, stop looking at them. Okay, just stop looking at them and focus on your work and go, what are my goals for today? My goal today is to finish this class and I don't know, maybe go for a clean doubles, and I want my extension right here at a clean 90, or I want to keep my hips really perfect. Whatever your thing is, set your own personal goal, because there's going to be a million more classes after this. I have the same thing. Every time I go, I went to an ABT intensive 2 years ago at the Colburn Academy. And I'm an adult and I'm in a room with a bunch of kids. And guess what? I still was thinking, what if this teacher, because it was the assistant director of ABT running it. And I was like, what if he sees me? And what if he suddenly says, you're wonderful, Georgia. Come and dance with ABT. It'll be magical. You're just perfect. Where have you been all my life? I can't help it. I'm going to daydream. Yeah, you go to those wacky places in your mind, but then let it go and just go, okay, it's another class. It's another class, and I need to work on my technique, or I need to work on my performance. I need to work on this. I need to work on that. You're not totally ignoring the teacher, but it's just not about that, okay? I have really come to understand, especially with the auditioning process for acting, it's a lottery. Now, when I say it's a lottery, what I mean is you don't not do your work, okay? You work at your craft every day, but you just have to, the more auditions you go on, the better your chances. And when I say auditions, I mean auditions, intensives, performances, rehearsals, classes, anything. Every single one of those items are an opportunity for you to potentially get future work. So, when I was looking at every audition as this could be the one, instead, when I started to stop caring so hard about it. And I know everyone says it and you go, well, Georgia, yeah, you say that, but it's hard to understand it. When you stop caring so much about that, and I just go, oh, okay, another job where I need to go in. What are my lines? Okay, I need to say them the best I can. I want to have fun with this role. What can I do with this role? And I take some risks, within the confines and say, great, do your job, do it well. And then that's it. And you go, great, done. And move on. Next. That's when the bookings start happening. And I think for me, one of the biggest things that helped was having a life outside of acting or dancing or anything. The minute I have a sense of balance in my life, this is me speaking. I'm somebody who, I've talked about this before. I struggle with anxiety and ADD, okay? And I know everybody goes, oh my God, I know my parents would be like, Georgia, that's not true. You're just buying into the myth and everybody blah, blah, blah. Guys, calm down, okay? For me, the deal is with ADD, it's not that it's like you can't focus on on anything. It's that you're focused on everything. I'm somebody who loves everything. But then I'll get hyper focused on like ballet to the point where I'm not doing anything else. I'm not spending time with my family. I'm not getting my work done. I'm not getting my chores done. I'm not doing anything else but just going to class and then coming home and then stretching some more and obsessing about my weight and what am I eating or not eating. And then all of a sudden one day I'm like, I'm burnt out. I get tired of it. First time I burned out, I took how many years off? Second time I burned out by the end of 2016, I took, I was like, forget it. And I walked away again because I need balance. So having balance in your life, taking time with your family, reading books, going out, having a life with your friends. And that doesn't mean doing things detrimental to yourself, but having that base of family support and love and doing things that aren't ballet actually makes your ballet better. As an artist, the more things you're doing creatively outside of it, you bring that back into your work. Like if you watch that show, Chef's Table, there's this guy, he lives out on an island, but he does all this other stuff and art and things like that. And then he brings it into his food and the food is incredible, amazing. So you have your passion, but you have to have other things to feed your passion. Anyways, I'm rambling. Let's see if there's other comments. Here we go. Which tights do you recommend I have? A pair of Capezio shimmery tan tights. This is from Beryl Parlak. Well, it depends on what you need. Let's see. Hold on. Beryl, are you talking about for like in general for ballet? Are you talking about for an audition? Because different tights for everything, right? I love the seamed tight for class. I really do. And also, of course, sorry if I'm wrong, guys. I didn't dance with the New York City Ballet. I think for Balanchine's pieces, they use the seam tights. It gives you a really good clean line, right? But then, other ballets, you want just the plain pink. And then there's different kinds of pink, right? Again, I'm right now wearing the Prima Soft in European pink. It almost looks like yellow in the bag, but when you put them on, they're beautiful. I love them. They're really nice. And then here's this block pinky, a little more pink, the Endura Adapta-Toe. Again, the Adapta-Toe is great, you guys, because you can adapt them. You can use them for ballet or for modern, and also for when you need to change your shoes. So you've got the hole in the bottom. You can pull it off really quick, do whatever you need to your toes, or do some modern dancing, especially now if you're going to be dancing in a company where you have repertoire and you're having to go from piece to piece and change to change. Having that changeable toe is really helpful. If you're doing competition work, I've seen a lot of the tan shimmery tights in the competition world, especially like the jazz competition. What's that called that you guys do? Contemporary, legs and then turned and feeling and all that. And I have major judgment on competitions. I think they are great for many reasons. They are not everything, people, okay? But they are, I am learning a lot of the benefits, so. Next question here. Great down-to-earth advice you're giving. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Max Daddy. I don't know what that means, but thank you. I hope that means you are someone's father, but either way. So Dancer 44, I hope that those answers helped you. I know I rambled a bit, but yeah, I want to hear how it goes. Please, 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 Dancer 44, if you're still watching, please send me a comment through the channel or through my Instagram, Ballerina Badass. I want to hear how it went today. Yeah, I'm excited for you. I know there's a bunch of girls out there at the studio I used to work at who are doing their adjudication today. If any of you are watching, I don't think you are, because you're probably already at the studio warming up, but good luck. Toy, 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 married, all that stuff. So, okay, back to the sewing. I am getting a little bit chilly, you guys. I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to put my booties back on and roll my pants back down. I am in a garage, And then when I get the shoes sewn, I am going to go back out on the dance floor and do a little work in them. Not a lot, because I'm not warmed up yet. People, you want to warm up. But I do want to show you guys what they look like and see how they feel, etc. So it's a constant process of learning, right? Learn, try new things, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we've done the edge of this guy, and now, this is what happens when you talk too much, is that now they're not matchy-match anymore. I sewed this one much shorter. You know what? I'm going to be lazy and leave it like that because I can, because I've sewn hundreds of pointe shoes by now. Oh, and by the way, younger dancers, I know that there are sewing services out there where they can sew your shoes for you. No, you want to be a professional dancer, or you want to just maybe if you're like, okay, I have to go to ballet because my mom's making me and they have the money to afford this very expensive pursuit, maybe then you can sit on your laurels and let someone else sew your shoes. But how old was I? Let me think. I started when I was 9. Well, technically I started when I was like 4 or 5, but then I got serious. We moved it from Georgia to St. Louis, and then I found Miss Alexandra's ballet studio in Chesterfield, the best. She turned 90, by the way, last Saturday. 90, and she's still teaching people. 90, amazing. I love you, Miss A. So that's right. I started at 8. I got my Pointe shoes at 9. Usually Pointe shoes, they've said, especially with where your feet are developing and your bone musculature and your anatomy, it's around 9 or 10 is safe. Yes, you're going to see Russian dancers who probably go earlier, but it depends on the foot. Don't go earlier than that. You can do serious permanent damage to your bone structure and anatomy. You know, they're just too soft. You gotta have the ankle strength, etc. But let's see, 9, got the Pointe shoes. So what was I? I think I started sewing my shoes. My mom, I think, did my first pair. But immediately after that, I'm like, I want to learn how to do my own shoes. They immediately started teaching us how to do it. Sew your own shoes, because also you want to have control over exactly where everything goes on your shoe. You want to start learning immediately what your foot looks like in a shoe, how you want it to look, how you want it to hold. Don't have someone at a store sewing them for you. That's just amateur hour, okay? You guys are far too good for that. I just can't understand. Also, the same with your bun. All these dancers who are having their moms do their bun for them or their dads, yes, it's very sweet. But seriously, and I know it's me saying this, so I'm a weirdo or whatever, but do your own bun, okay? It's gonna suck for a while, you guys, but keep practicing. I can see myself standing in front of that little mirror in the hallway at my house on Weidman Road in St. Louis and trying to get my hair around and with my little hands and then trying to stick the pins in it. I remember the first bun I did was totally loose and I tried to put a hairnet around it and it sucked. But I kept trying because I'm like, I can do this. You know, it's such a sense of accomplishment. And when you walk in the room knowing I did my own bun, oh, it feels so good. So, we have things. Thank you so much for the advice. I'm a late starter and it's sometimes very intimidating because everyone my age is very, very good. Oh, hello, girlfriend. Welcome to ballet. Okay, welcome to life. And also what you said about the body image thing. Yes. Oh, yes. Okay, good. She's going to tell us how it goes after. Yay. Oh, absolutely, Dancer 44. You're gonna do great because yes, I know we're competing with each other and you can say, I got a gold medal this time. You got a gold medal out of that group of people, but a whole separate group of people, you might not get any medal. Try to think outside the bubble. It's going to be great. As long as you show up and you accomplish what you wanted to accomplish on that day, screw everything else, okay? Sorry for the language, but sometimes you got to do it. I'm really excited for you. And I applaud and commend you for showing up because I'm telling you, as someone who just walking into ballet class, I still sometimes want to barf because I'm like, oh my God, everyone's looking at me. I should be better than I am. Look at those little 14-year-olds whose legs are behind their head. There's always going to be some 14-year-old with their leg behind their head no matter where they go. And again, I got to tell you, of all my friends that I came up with, a lot of them quit a long time ago. And probably some of them might say, yeah, Georgia, you're a weirdo because you're still doing it. Too bad. I love it. I'm going to keep going. So there. My Dee Dee loved the Suffolk solo Pointe shoes. She's, however, constantly changing brands and models in search for her perfect shoe. Yes, me too. It's a never-ending process, ZT. I don't know. I know there's dancers out there who they find their shoe and it's their shoe and they just rock, and I envy them. I really do. But it could also just be me just always, you see other shoes and you're like, ooh, what are those like? I have to admit, you guys, I'm going to admit it. I want to go back and try, what's Joy Womack's shoe? It's the one that's not really made of real stuff. It's, oh my God, you guys. What is that shoe? Somebody tell me on the thing, because I'm trying to think about sewing and I don't want to mess up my sewing because I'm talking about the shoe. Georgia, think. What's it called? Gainer Minden. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, the Gainer Minden. I want to try them. I really do. And they've come a long way, man. I was one of the first people to try them out when they first came into existence. And I did not like them at the time. They looked ugly. They felt ugly. And apparently now they've gotten just amazing. And again, I'm looking for a shoe that I can really turn in. Yes, thank you, Max Daddy. Yes. Yes, gainer. And you're right, Manga 12. Hi again, Manga 12. Feet do evolve and change. Absolutely true. Yes, look at all these people who know their shoes. Yes. Love it. It was interesting. I peeked over at Joy Womack's channel. And again, remember what I talked about earlier? If you see people who are so good, they intimidate you and make you want to quit and be depressed. Yeah. I've been in class with Joy because she comes back home and we'll take class at Westside Ballet. And, I take class there too. So she'll be in class. And if she's not there, the teacher will pay attention to me and give me corrections and all that stuff. If she is there, then it's like no one else in the class exists and they just work with Joy. And you're like, hey, which by the way, teachers out there, I want to say that to you. If you're teaching adult level or professional classes and you're just paying attention to the one dance in the room you like, I think that's really not nice. I think no matter what, you should give all dancers corrections. Now I know, especially with like the older moms and grandmas who come in and they like don't want corrections. They just want to dance. But at least find out like, hey, who in here is interested in corrections today? I want to know. Is anyone here looking for positive feedback or, critique or whatever? Please let me know and I will take the time to work with you. Because there's nothing worse than just you're like, hey, I'm here. I want to improve. Could you please, help? Anyways, but going back to Joy Womack, God, she's so good. I don't like everything she does. I'm not as into her presentation, but her technique is stellar. And she is incredible. Okay, so this is just a personal opinion. This is not truth. I know she's a mega international star. So again, no sour grapes. Definitely jealous grapes, but no sour grapes on that. However, I will go and peek at her channel. If I subscribe to her channel and saw her videos coming in every day of all the awesome stuff she's doing all over the world, yes, I get depressed and go, what's wrong with my life? Why aren't I doing this? Why didn't I keep dancing longer? Or why didn't I start when I was 2? Or why? And I just get super, super depressed. So I'm like, nope. So I set my boundaries, but I do go over and peek at her channel sometimes. And I saw this video of her. She's getting up in the morning like every day and running. And I'm going, dude, that's awesome on the one hand because you're building endurance. But on the other hand, running on concrete, it's really bad for your knees, you guys. Like, you have to get knee surgery and stuff. And I'm like, girlfriend, why are you doing this? I'm not going to comment on her because it's her life and her world. And my opinion, I know she doesn't want to hear it. So I don't know. Just curious about your thoughts. If you all had seen that, what you think about it. I have friends who run 4Ks and 5Ks and all that stuff. And then it's like they're getting knee surgery. And I'm like, hello, but whatever. Like run on a treadmill or something softer or safer, or the elliptical. The elliptical might be safer. Okay. She seems like a nice person, though stressing out in her time in Russia. Oh, yeah, I know, right? Yeah. I don't know how anyone deals with the company atmosphere. I am not into it. I can talk about that all day. Oh, you have advice for late starters. Yes. Be nice to yourself. Be nice to yourself. Be nice to yourself. You have to. You have to be nice to yourself. This is not a thing where you're like, oh my God, I have to catch up with everyone else. You will never catch up to whoever it is you're trying to catch up to, okay? You need to be the best dancer you can be for you. Find people that you look up to, of course. Watch their work. There's a great book called Steal Like an Artist, I think it's called. I highly recommend it. I think it applies to all artists. And what they say is basically, we're not talking about plagiarism, like taking something out of a book, cutting it out and putting the same words in another book and calling it your own. It's not that. But as an actor or a dancer or anything else, I'm going to use this I'll do it in dancer terms. Let's say I'm watching Maya Plisetskaya, all right, in an old video, and I'm watching her power, and a video where you can see something she's doing particular with her hand and a position she's doing, or you see her timing, or what's her name? Osipova, right? I notice in her Pointe turns, she almost looks like she's in a turned in number 4 position. It's really weird. And I thought, I wonder if I tried that, would that work or not? Maybe it's just the way her body's built. Whatever it is you're looking at, whoever you're watching, and you see something they do that you like, take it and use it for yourself, because here's the thing. It's not going to look the same on you. No one's going to figure out, ah, you stole that from so and so. Yeah, maybe like the hardcore people, but it still won't look the same. You won't be plagiarizing because it's on your body. There's no way you can repeat it exactly like them. Stealing like an artist, that way you can learn from other dancers, take what you like and leave the rest. And then you're not looking at them from a place of envy as far as like, I'll never be that good. I should just quit. No, you're looking at it like, huh, I like what she did there with her, the way she finished that tendu or that, her epaulement or things like that. I'm going to take that and use it. And that is a constructive way to watch the other dancers around you and get what you need. Okay. Also, for late starters, when you say late starter, does that mean that you're a teenager? Does that mean you're in your 20s? You don't have to answer that if you're not comfortable sharing your age. I understand. But really look into anatomy and where you're at in your anatomical progress. That is very important. If you are in your teens, you need to know you're going to have growth spurts ongoing in weird ways. So you're going to make progress and you're going to lose it. It's going to suck. Okay. But it happens and you need to understand that. Another thing, this is really great. I watched a video recently. I think I might have mentioned this before. And oh, what's her name? I think it's the salty ballerina. But the salty sugar plum, she was talking about splits. And it's something that I've always suspected. But again, my teacher did not do a lot of anatomical explaining in her classes. We focused on different things. Every teacher has things they focus on, things they don't. But I always wondered if part of the reason, I can stretch my leg back here, but I'm still working on how to get the strength to hold it. I got it one summer where it was just freaking dynamite, and then I lost it again. And that summer, I did a ton of body work, like, kinetic work or Alexander work, all that stuff. And I was doing jazz, and and all of that sort of cross training in dancing gave my body the strength and ability and, the musculature and the, all of these things back here that help you hold your extension. But I always wondered, for the people who can really whack it out, on the one hand, there's the danger of overstretching, but on the other hand, is it part of your anatomy? And she talked about this crest bone here, depending on where it is, depending on where your hips sit. Are they wide set? Are they really, narrow? That's going to affect how high you ultimately really can go, right? There are limits. And I wish teachers had a better understanding of that to tell the dancer, hey, these look like your limits. I know you're probably going to push through them anyway, but you need to be careful because it could cause permanent damage and injury. Or here are ways we can work to accentuate the positive and decentuate the negative. Does that make sense? I worked with a professional dancer, Amanda Jarman. Oh my gosh, she was awesome. And she was always finding ways, like she knew her body, okay? And she was quite a bit older, I want to think. It's funny. She was like, I'm 23. And we're like, whatever. She looked amazing, okay? If Amanda ever saw this. But she knew where to stand so that even if her leg wasn't as high as the other, she found ways to show her body in the best possible light. It's like Barbara Streisand saying, this is my good side and only show my good side. She knew how to do that. She was at the professional level. And my feeling is in class, you want to work on your technique and you want to work on your bad side. Okay. Definitely whatever you're the worst at, work on that the most. I did not do that. And I regret it to this day. It's what I'm doing now. So I wasn't great at turns. I was fantastic at jumps. Guess what I worked on all the time? Jumps. I didn't have great extension. I never worked on my extension. I was like, I'm not good at it. I'm not going to do it. And I didn't want to look stupid in front of the other dancers who were just way better than me, So I didn't work on it. I only worked on what I was good at. I still went professional. Yeah, that's great. But I wish I had focused on the negative more as far as how to improve it. So, let's see. Started at 14, you're 17 now. Okay, thanks for sharing. So yeah, again, your body still might go through some shifts. I know for me, I did not really even thin out until my early 20s. Okay. Like I still was struggling with like baby fat up until it all started to fall off like 21, 20. Yeah. Around there. So super frustrating. Again, you got to be kind to yourself and just be patient. Be patient. Set goals for yourself. Don't worry about anyone else. Okay. I think that's your best bet. I gotta keep sewing. I'm talking a lot, which I love, but oh my God. Okay, so we're doing crisscross. I think I'm only gonna get through one shoe today. No, I'm gonna keep pushing. As long as there's people here watching, I'll keep pushing. Let's get our ribbons ready. Now, I don't know if you're supposed to burn these because they might go up in flames, quite frankly, people. We can trim them. I could just finish them with some, I might just finish them with some nail polish when I'm done. Nothing like watching your ribbons burst into flames. So I don't know about these. Let's see. What is this up here? Go away. I'm getting notices that it's someone's birthday who I don't even know. I'm not on Facebook anymore, people, and I gotta tell you, I don't miss it. I really don't. All I was getting were these boring posts from like things I didn't even know about, things I didn't think I'd even signed up for. I don't know what was going on. I wasn't seeing anything that my friends were up to. And then most of the posts from friends were like ranty and angry, and I'm like, okay, no, not interested. Here we go. So we got our ribbons cut. Boop, boop, boop. The stretchy ones. Stretchy ribbons. All right, I'm sorry. I got to put on the heater. It's too cold in here. It's going to be a little loud. If it's too loud, let me know. Oh, good. Dancer 44. Oh, I'm so glad I could help you. That makes it all worth it. Yay! I'll be right back. Okay. Heater is going on because it's just too cold in here. Okay, that's happening. So deal with it. All right. Plus, probably I shouldn't have. No, maybe I do this on the floor too. That'll help. There we go. Okay. Should have brought a blanket. My family is all still snoozing in the house very comfortably, which I love because most of the time we have to be up and out the door on Sundays. Here we go. Thready thread. I think I'm going to go again with the single thread, not the double. Keep it simple. Are there other notes? Oh, Mango's saying you're a runner and a hip hop dancer. Oh, cool. So it goes with the territory. I have to be careful now, though, how to bend my knees when I dance. Manga 12. Yep, I get it. Yep. Oh, yeah, Maya. Yep. Oh, bye-bye, Manga. It's nice to see you. If you already left, sorry I missed your note, but awesome. Manga 12's like been commenting since like the beginning. It's pretty cool. Okay, got to put the shoe back on again to check where to put little ribbons. Lay ribbons. Put on our comfy booty thingy. In the shoe. Oh, yeah, that's good. So it looks like sometimes I'm like, okay, do I want to put it just above the seam or just below the seam? Now, you'll notice, okay, if you want to get really picky, if you can see this, people, there's just this little bit of puckering in here, and that kind of annoys me. So it's tempting to want to put the ribbon right down here. But then if I put the ribbon too low, it covers this portion of my foot. You know, it's like, where's the ribbon? Ribbon? Oh, Georgia, you're so silly. You know, I don't want the ribbon like covering my foot too far down there. I want a little higher. So I think I'm going to split the difference. I'm going to start it like right in front of the seam, just barely. So it'll kind of go back to there. So I think I'm going to sew it like right. I don't know if you guys can see this. I hope so. It's all pink right there. Doo-doo, boom. Okay. And then I'll finish the elastic behind it. So comfy booty back on. I've had these black booties forever and I love them. I also have mucklucks. I have, oh my gosh, right, dancers? How many pairs of warm booty things do you have? Because they're just awesome. Now, I do like to fold over just a little bit on the edge to kind of protect the seam. And then I'll sew along that fold because this is pretty flimsy, I gotta say. And I don't want it to fray. I don't want it to rip out because when I tie my shoes, it's like I might pull. And I don't want it to fall apart. So here we go. We'll take that fold and put it here on the shoe. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. Now it's time. And in. There we go. Once again, starting from the inside to go out. Then I come around it once. Again, so yeah, let me show real close. I went from the inside out. Now, you can see there's the thread. I'm bringing it around. I'm going to go through it one more time to kind of, again, seal off that edge. There's the needle coming through. And here, if you can see from the inside, all right, I'm going to come through. Pull, pull, pull. Gently, slowly. Brick. That's the other thing with wax dental floss. It doesn't do that thing where it sort of spins the wrong direction and turns into knots. With regular thread, oh my gosh, it does this weird thing where it like knots before it even goes through the shoe, and you're so annoying, and then you can't get it through, and then you have to cut the knot, and then you have to start over. I don't like it. If you're really slow and patient and have more time on your hands, yes, thread is easier, but not this time. So, okay. And now we're doing the in and out, in and out. Bloop, bloop. I do like to keep, again, if you have time and you're not feeling lazy, the stitches on the outside small, so it doesn't look like, a big bunch of gnarly stitches. It looks seamless. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's something so therapeutic about sewing shoes, you guys. It's like, whoop, that through. This is also nice. You can always rethread the needle if you need to. Smaller needles are actually easier to sew with, but I have this big guy, and I'm, again, not going to change it right now. I do have a bunch of others here, but if you all are interested in what I keep in my little toe shoe kit, I do have, what is it? I think it's like my top 10 toe shoe kit essentials video. So you can find it somewhere in my past videos or playlists, and I think it's pretty good. So needles, thread, lighter, nail polish, toe tape, the other stuff, this stuff, new skin. New skin is great. It's good. Extra elastic, Neosporin, yes, very important. So always be prepared. It's the Scout way. Yeah. Oh, Lisa B, good morning. Good morning. How are you? Wait, is that Lisa B? Is that Lisa from the shop, or is this a new Lisa? Whoever you are, hi. All right, so now we've gotten it started. We did just the top of the seam, ta-da! And that's what it looks like on the outside. I know the light's a little bit strong, but on the other hand, it blows out my face nicely. So, hey, here we go. Yes, it is you. Ah, hi. Okay, so Lisa is watching you guys, and she helped get me these shoes. So thank you, Lisa. I'm very excited. Okay, so here we go. And Lisa's daughter is doing adjudication today. Oh my gosh, Lizzie, I so hope it goes well for her. We're coming around the edge now, coming around the mountain. So I'm going to go down and around and finish off so there's not this little flap here. Again, I want it all sewed down. That's me, my personal thing. If you are in a rush, yeah, just that'd be good enough. You get it along the seam and get on stage and done, right? But I want to make this nice and clean. You know what, you guys? I forgot to mention, I bought those snaps. Are they in here, or I have to shoot? I got all these things to try for videos for you guys, and then I got busy and didn't do them because, yeah, life. This is the problem when you're someone like me who has many passions, is finding the time to get it all done. But I got those ribbon snaps, and I want to try them out. And I guess you put the snap on the ribbon and just snap them on the shoe and go. So I want to test them out and do the whole like graveyard girl, like, does this thing really work? I really do. So yeah. And see just how wonderful or yeah, see, Lisa's already telling me, be careful of the snaps. I know, Lisa, they're probably awful. I'm fully prepared to acknowledge that. I still want to just do a video and try them out and at least prove why they are awful, to warn other dancers of why not to use them and just see what they're like. I'm curious. But yeah, I can't understand why putting something like a snap near your foot that could come off and possibly rip your skin up could be a good thing. We'll see. Very curious. So, yep, we shall see. All right, what I like here, by the way this is working out, it's right in line with the seam here, so I can actually take my needle and go under, if you can see right there, I can go under this part here to sew it. So it's I'm not going in and out through the entire shoe, and that means you're not seeing any extra stitches on the outside. Wait, can we see? So you've got a few stitches along the top, but you don't see any extra stuff on, on the bottom or on the satin because it's hidden. Hidden behind the canvas. Boop, boop. I like that. All right, so I know someone who ripped up her feet. Yeah, see, so yeah, any of you out there who are thinking of getting the snaps, tune in for my next video showing you why the snaps are probably not a good idea. Yeah, I'm not surprised, Lisa. I am not surprised. You know how that is, though. Everyone wants to find out for themselves. All right. One ribbon almost done. 5 hours later. Normally, when you get into a groove with sewing shoes and you're not talking all the time, you can get them done pretty quick, right? Now, I know, again, there are dancers like Joy Womack where she has a whole system with that stuff she sews on the bottom. And what did she say? It takes her like 3 hours per pair of pointe shoes to sew. That's like awesome and insane. However, the results she gets from them are incredible, so I can't judge at all. Ooh, another good video that I watched recently was Catherine Morgan's video on Pointe turns. Girl, again, and I'm watching it now, and it's so funny because I know, like, when you're younger, you're like, how do they do it? How do they do it? It's just not fair. And it's like, I'm looking at her, and she has this figure that it's like so square. She has this nice, square, beautiful body that just sits so perfectly. And then she's got these good, strong ankles, and it just goes up and down and up and down and up and down. And I feel like part of it's genetics, part of it's excellent technique, and it's just great watching her. It's just like, it's easy for her. And I look at me, and every time I even start to do pointes, I feel this like, you know, I feel like I'm like, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Now it's gotten to where I feel super confident with my pointes in flat shoes. That's good. That's actually progress, believe it or not. I try to do them all the time. When I'm at class at Westside Ballet, I'll toss them in, things like that. But still on pointe shoes, you know, again, strengthening my ankles, and then my hips keep going in and out of being in the right place. It's like, I don't know. It's just, I come here, and then when I start to go up, it goes to come in instead of staying right there. So I'm, you know, I tried the forward technique. We go and down and down and down and down. But then there's I still like the up. You know, I just feel like it gets you up on your leg better. So I'm not giving up, people. I just, I'm determined to keep trying. I just don't want to do any permanent damage in the process. So, I still want to barf when I think when I did that Nutcracker at South Bay Ballet, which still, no joke, you guys, I'm not gonna lie, and I think I said this to Diane herself. I'm like, if I had known that your Sugar Plum basically just does the solo and also dances with the flowers, which also has a flower queen and doesn't get to do the pas de deux, I wouldn't have agreed to do it. No way in hell. The whole reason I like doing Sugar Plum is the pas de deux. I love pas de deux. I could pas de deux all day, all night. I just love it, okay? And yes, solos too, but there was so much like technique involved that it like techniqued me right out of having any fun with the role. It was just like, I was too worried about having to do this just right, having to do that just right, and not just like letting go and enjoying it. And then, yeah, no pas de deux. And you had to do pointes at the front of the stage, right into the shining light with a bunch of dancers right behind you. And Georgia has never had to do pointes on stage before, people, ever. Yeah, I know. You're like, what kind of a dancer are you? You got away with it for that long. Well, I did not get to do Odette Odile. Everything I did, I mean, Giselle, there's no pointes in there. Hello. I just never had to do them. So then it's like first time trying them, and I'm out in front, and they sucked, people. They were bad. I didn't watch the video, but I was there. I felt it. It was awful. It was humiliating. By the time we did the final performance, I was like, screw it. I'm doing tour jetés in a circle around the group instead. Aha. Now, I did do pointes again later on the coda on a diagonal, and those actually didn't suck as much, but they weren't good. It was so frustrating and so humiliating because, you know, I'd done Sugar Plum as a guest performer at other places and felt amazing about it, and like, you know, the audience truly loved it. I felt like the Sugar Plum fairy, you know, it was wonderful. But there it was like such an exercise, and then having that not go well, and that was the last one I did. So I'd like to do at least one more Sugar Plum to redeem myself and to not feel like it was just such a crappy ending, you know? That would be nice, but I have to find another partner. So, and then of course, all the rehearsing and all of that. So yeah, I don't know if it's going to happen or not, people. We will see. Ooh, what do we got? Thoughts on farming point shoes? Darning. It's like farming? Okay. Madeline says, have you watched the Prix de la Somme videos? Okay, I'm going to come back to the darning thought in just a second. I watched some of the Prix de la Somme videos, yeah. Is there a particular one you're thinking about, Madeline? I mean, there's a bunch. Again, I'm not a huge fan of competition because you work so hard on one variation, and yeah, it's impressive. It is. And like I said earlier, you can get good ideas from it. But from what I've heard, the majority of these dancers, they can do the solo, but they can't go out and do the whole ballet. They don't have the stamina or the ability or anything. It's like not seeing the bigger picture. They're just doing that one little thing. On the other hand, though, it's good to work on one thing, and you get the confidence being in competition and being on stage and working with other dancers. So again, pluses and minuses. Oh, there was that Asian girl a few years back who was so incredible, and now she's quit. She's like, yeah, I'm bored with ballet. It's so funny. I can't tell you how many times the people that were the absolute best, that got all the scholarships and all the attention are the ones who quit. It's just funny to me. Ha ha ha. But tell me why you're asking about the Prix de la Somme. I'm curious. And then, I think Alessandra Ferry had it in contract not to do fouettes on stage. Are you kidding me? Are you serious, Lisa? Did you guys hear this? Have any of you heard of this? That possibly Alessandra Ferry had it in her contract not to do fouettes on stage. Oh my God, that would be my contract. And hello, why isn't that Misty's contract? I know. I do not want to get into a let's rag on her because the things that girl has accomplished, she's beautiful. But oh my God, the whole like not able to do 32 fouettes and you still put her in the Black Swan thing and she's not doing them and then falls out. That must have been humiliating, you guys. It's like, don't do Black Swan, or like, because this is what I want to know then. Did Alessandra Ferry not do Black Swan, or did she change Black Swan and not do fouettes? This is what I want to know. Now we need to search people. We need to find a video, hopefully on YouTube, of Alessandra Ferry doing Black Swan. Does she do the fouettes? This is the question. That will be so interesting to find out. Now, back to darning. Thoughts on darning. So I have a video on my YouTube channel, Ella Goulet, called How to Darn Your Pointe Shoes. It's way back in the back of the videos. It's from a long time ago, but it's good, I think. I use either friendship bracelet thread is okay. It's not as strong. Kite string's really good. You want a good sturdy string, and I can do another video where I'm just maybe another live stream where I'm darning. I'm not going to darn today, but I like to go fully around the edge of the shoe. You can go around a couple of times. Some people like to do the whole bottom of their shoe. For me, that's overkill. I go through too many shoes to go and darn the whole bottom. I highly recommend you do also watch, I think Joy Womack does a video on how she particularly does her shoes. It is cray town, but if it works, it works. And she is amazing. So those are my immediate thoughts on darning. Okay. Lisa says, I never saw her do Odile. Yeah, that's what I want to know. If anyone finds a video of Alessandra Ferry doing Black Swan, Odile, let us know because we should find out. Yeah. Sure. So funny. There's people out here who are like, hey, have you thought about, trying out for LA Dance Group or whatever it's called? It's Benjamin Millepier's company. First of all, I don't know if he'd even like me. I haven't seen their work yet. I need to go and see it. It looks like it's, very modern contemporary work, which I find is fun to do. But I don't know if I'd want to do it all the time. A. B, the fact that I'm pretty sure he's pretty good friends with Kurt Froman. And I did do that video where I I wasn't calling Kurt Froman out. That's the funny thing. I was calling out Dance Magazine because they'd done this spread on Jennifer Lawrence being in that movie as a ballerina. And I realized in hindsight, I think they were trying to focus on what Kurt Froman accomplished as a choreographer working with a non-dancer. But it came across as, look at Jennifer Lawrence becoming a ballerina. And everyone, you'll see the comments on my video. People are like, oh, you're just bitter. And she never said that she was a ballerina. And they fully admitted it. They didn't hide it because, they did hide it from Natalie Portman, that whole thing, whatever. But again, Benjamin Millepierre. But it's so funny. what do you call it? I tagged Kurt Froman on the post. He was so mad. He like sent me 2 really mean, long messages like, ballet wouldn't be even exist if it weren't for opportunities like this. And who do you think you are? And yeah. And I'm like, I'm not calling you out or that out. I'm just saying I wish Dance Magazine would have focused on Isabella, who actually was the double, and what it was like for her working on a film set. Because as a dancer, reading Dance Magazine, what I want to know is, if I ever booked a job on a film as a ballet dancer, what is it like in that environment? I've had to do it for me at least, and I'm not like a star like Isabella, but for me, oftentimes you're dancing on really bad floors. You have to wait forever. Then when they're ready to shoot and the room is usually really cold, they want you to do it like a million times over and over and over again. And they look at you not like you're an athlete who needs to take a break. They look at you like an actor where they say, just say your lines again. Just say your lines again. Okay, one more time, but a little this. One more time, but a little that. And they think it's the same thing. So, when you're dancing on stage, even when you're in class, you do the combination, dun, 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 then you walk off and you have like a minute to breathe. Yeah, there's sometimes when you're marathoning, but you're not doing the same steps over and 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 over again. Yeah, you can argue, okay, the hops for Giselle in Act 2 where you're having to hop across the stage. Yeah, the hops on Pointe. It's still not at the level of how many times they want you to do it again and again for on camera. I watched that happen just recently on a commercial, a major commercial for a TV show where they had a dancer and he had to do back handsprings and all this stuff. They made him do it over and over and over again. It was ridiculous. And when you're on Pointe, it's crazy. So I wanted to see an interview with Isabella. Now, eventually, I think Pointe magazine did release that interview with her, but I just felt like that should have been the focus to me. It would have been more interesting. I guess there are a lot of choreographers who read Dance Magazine too, and they're aspiring choreographers, so they'd want to read that article from the choreographer's perspective. It just didn't come across that way, So, oh, Brazil is here. Hey, how you doing? I'm ranting. Ranty, rant. Georgia and your rants. Ranty, rant. So, oh my God. And when I rant, then you're like, well, what was the point of that story? The point is, I don't know if I ever could get a job. First of all, on ability, I don't know if I'm their type or if I can even do that. And secondly, I don't know if they figured out that I'd made that video if they wanted me around, because you have to be careful who you talk crap on in the dance world. Yeah, so, and I feel like I'm at a point where, you guys, this is how ranty I get. I got on a major rampage, and I still have desires and, intentions of doing this, but it is a lot of work. And 10 company directors will see you for an opportunity to dance in their company. Guess what? Especially in California, it's illegal to charge money to audition artists. It's illegal. And yet LA Ballet charges $30, cash, by the way, non-traceable, for you to audition for their company. And I'm like, and why isn't anybody stopping this? Well, A, because who cares about ballet in LA? Sorry. But B, the dancers are so desperate for work, they're not going to say anything. And C, everyone will say, well, but it's a ballet company and they're starving and they need money. And this is one of the few ways that they can get more funds to do what they do. And I'm like, I have a big FU for that. Okay. A big FU to all those companies. If you cannot afford to treat your dancers with a modicum of respect, you don't charge them for an opportunity to dance with your company. And then I've heard the argument, well, it is a class. You're paying for a class. FU again. No, they are auditioning for you. How dare you charge money for dancers to essentially interview for a job? So I'm dying to find a way to take them to court or whatever, but I looked into it. First of all, you kind of have to do a class action suit, which means I would have to go and actually participate in the audition and pay the money. Then I would actually be, a victim and a plaintiff. And then you have to gather a bunch of people together, a bunch of dancers, to agree to try and take this company to court. Guess what? None of them are going to do it. Why? Because they want to work. They're desperate for work. And because dancers are so desperate, and I have been that desperate dancer, you won't say anything. You'll keep your mouth shut. You'll let them get away with murder. And it just drives me nutbags. So, yeah. So I movie boy, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Ooh, and is that money? Thank you. I got money. I think. I don't know what that means. Looks like I got some money. So that's cool. That's my husband, by the way. That's adorable. I feel like this is what I did. Again, if you want to talk about burning bridges, I did not do this in the best way, but I started with Kansas City Ballet and I looked into it. They charge money for auditioning for the company, and they charge money if you want to send in your video for them to look at it. So you send your video in for them to consider it, they charge you money for that. And I think it's somewhere between 30 and $50. It's not cheap, okay? So I sent a letter to the attorneys general of Missouri saying, hello, isn't this illegal? I actually called up, they told me I had to call the labor division of the labor board. I called them and I had a long discussion with this guy and he said, look, the fact is there's no obvious law in Missouri against it. You can't really go after them for it. It's kind of hard. And then the attorneys general did reply. And what they said in their reply was, I guess they reached out to Kansas City Ballet with my message. And Devin Carney's the director. And I came up with Devin Carney as in he was the director of the summer dance program I was at. I love Devin Carney on many levels. I think he's great. So I'm sure he knew who I was. And I'm sure he's not pleased with me. So I'm sorry, Devin. I got a wild hair at my ass and I want to change this. I don't know how though. And I got to say it's daunting, but I got this, they included this letter from Kansas City Ballet and it started out, Kansas City Ballet has been a part of the artistic community for over 60 years, bringing quality dance and art and culture. And I'm like, that's not the point. I'm sorry, but misdirection. I probably sound like Charlie from Always Sunny in Philadelphia using words that don't quite apply. But seriously, I don't give a fudge how much you're contributing to the community. How does that then make it right for you to charge dancers to audition for your company? How is that right? Not right. I'm sorry. No, wrong. I'd say you want to charge dancers, then have it be, let's say it's a week-long workshop or a full workshop of several hours, and it's not an audition. I mean, then you'd have to kind of lie, I guess, but you'd say, hey, we don't audition outside of the company. We do occasionally hold workshops, and then you could watch the workshop and then maybe pull a dancer aside and say, we really like you and want to hire you. I'd say then at least maybe you're kind of getting away with it. But to blatantly call it an audition, dancers pay how much money just to fly out there? And I know you're like, oh, well, most of these dancers are teenagers and their parents are paying for it. Still not right. Because in California, if you try to say, oh, well, it's a child actor and their mom and dad's going to pay the money for them to audition for this Campbell's soup commercial, no, wouldn't work. Illegal. Okay. I think the whole thing should be banned and illegal. And it's like, well, then where are they going to get the money? Isn't that the question that has been asked since the dawn of time for ballet companies? You read that book by Joffrey on the Joffrey Ballet and how there's always these moments of, is the ballet company going to close down? How are they going to find money? You read Martha Graham's book on how she started her company. It is an uphill battle of intense, extreme, impossible proportions. It is climbing Mount Everest. And as a dancer, I want to say tough, swear word, insert here. You do not take it out on the dancers, okay? Devin Carney was a dancer himself. Victoria Morgan used to be a dancer. You guys should know better. And I know they come across and go, well, you don't know. You're not a company director. There's all these other things. And you're right. There's things that we don't know about. I still don't see any argument that justifies charging dancers to audition for your company. Grant complete. And with the completed grant, thank you all for still being on the line watching. Oh, that's what private donors and corporate sponsors are for. They have the money. Exactly, movie boy. Private donors and corporate sponsors. And yeah, I know it's a constant battle trying to get them. Alvin Ailey seems to have it figured out. My God, when I was with Kansas City Ballet, Kansas City has a whole section called Friends of Alvin Ailey, and it's all of these ridiculously wealthy people. I like house sat for some of these people. It was insane the money these people have, and they'd have parties at the mansions that were awesome, by the way. I went to one of them, and they have some of the dancers show up and do a little bit of dancing in the salon room, and they were raising buku bucks for that company. It was amazing. I know with Cincinnati Ballet, each of us had a sponsor. Like, I remember I had a sponsor, and I was an apprentice, for God's sake. It was really smart thinking. And I'm like, okay, if you're doing all this, then why do you still have to go out and take that extra bit of money from the dancer? No. Okay, so let's stop ranting for a second. Here's the shoe now as it stands. We've got the elastics here. Boom, boom. And yeah, I know my ranting is not going to get me jobs with companies. So yeah. Now I'm going to take the elastic And I'm going to swing it on over. Now, ideally for me, again, for aesthetic purposes, because I don't want like a bunch of stuff sticking out, but I'd like it to go right behind the elastic so it hides. However, I want to see where I want to pull the shoe up to keep it nice and smooth against my foot. I might want to put it just to the side of the ribbon. So we'll see what it looks like. Let's give it a shot. All right, it's 9:39. Guys, I'm only going to get through one shoe because I need to go have breakfast. And like I said earlier, have a life, which means not just ballet, other things. Okay, so let's put the shoe on. Put your shoe on. Put your shoe on. Get your shoe on. Get your shoe on. All right, shoe is on. La, 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 la. Okay, that's self-centered. Again, get on over this side. We like looking at this side because the arches, right? So it's pulling right there, which I think looks nice. I'm taking the elastic from the other side. Let's bring the elastic around. Where do I want it to go? I think I want it, hold on. Let's get this where you guys can see. Get on down. I want it to go, if this is pulling up here, and that's there, there's a little bit of space. I think we're good to go just outside of the ribbon. I'm going to go right here, I think. And then I got to feel, this is going to be the hard part, is feeling how's it going to work when I'm actually dancing. I mean, we're looking at aesthetics right now, but then you got to look at, besides the aesthetics of the shoe, it's the functionality of the shoe, right? Is it going to work for you when you're dancing? And I want to think if I pull it lower, am I going to be able to spring up on point as easily, or will higher be better? Somewhere in between. So let's give it a shot. I'm going to try it here. If I don't like it, I can always undo the stitching and resew. But I'm going to get this one shoe. I'm going to put it on. We'll go out on the floor, take a look at it, see how it looks. And I don't want to go too far down. Now in this case, because I'm going, again, we'll be sewing like through the ribbon. I don't want to go in and out of the ribbon. I want to stay on the inside of the shoe. And I forget the name of that stitch, but it's like a hidden stitch, okay? So I'm going to try and do that. Let's put it right. Oh my God, try it again. I know it's a process, you guys. Such a process. Oh, it's Julie Levy. Hi, Julia. Oh my God. How are you? Yes, I'm back. I know, right? Back in the saddle again. Yeah. Okay. How tight do I want it? This is something I do, you guys. I will flex and point while I'm holding the elastic in place to feel if it's too tight when I am fully standing straight versus when I'm pointing, right? And that gives me an idea. So I don't want to go too far. Oof. Something's kind of rubbing on my ankle too, I gotta tell you. So I gotta go back and feel where in the shoe it's rubbing and take care of that. Sometimes you can lay a little tape over it to kind of cover any rubby parts, things like knots and stuff. I try to keep those knots out of the way, but sometimes they still rub. But also, I have been taking a bit of a break, so that could be also just my feet going, oh, really, again? Oh my gosh. Oh, Lisa says I'm the queen of multitaskers. Wow, thank you. Yeah, it was great. So I'm in the shop yesterday, and I had just finished going to a Boy Scout, which I'm going to start calling it Scouts because girls are joining, and I am personally, I'm excited about that, and here's why. Just a quick note, only because I was a girl who tried brownies. I hated it. I wanted to be a Boy Scout because I just liked the things they were doing, and I couldn't, right? And now girls are allowed to join Boy Scouts. A lot of people are upset about it. A lot of people feel like the sexes should be separate. I personally, this is my personal feeling, is that I think the more we integrate boys and girls from a young age, the more understanding and respect for the other sex there will be. That's my personal feeling, is that then as they're not separated, they'll understand better, how to respect one another, how to be kind to one another, how to work together. And I know there's a lot of people scared like that boys are no longer boys anymore and girls are no longer girls anymore, and how are we going to continue the race? And it's not right, there's a lot of religious opinions on it too, and I don't want to disrespect those opinions. I just I think that it can all be maintained and promoted, and you can be a strong person. I'm a girl, and I love being or a woman, obviously, and I love being a woman, but I also have a lot of strength and power, and I like doing a lot of things that boys like to do. And I don't like being told, well, you're not allowed to do that because you're a girl. You know what I mean? So anyways, I was at a Boy Scout merit badge workshop for my stepson. And so I was in my full uniform. So I came into the shop in my Scout uniform, and then I'm trying on Pointe shoes. It was pretty awesome. But I love, I'm an assistant Scoutmaster for my stepson's troop, and I love it. You know, I'm getting into backpacking, and this is something I want to make some more videos about for you guys, is to show you the different things you can do with your life outside of dance and how it actually applies to your dance career, and how it makes you a better dancer. Getting out into nature, learning, because I'm learning with backpacking how to fit your whole life into one backpack and keep it as light as possible, and as, you know, just the stuff you need. And then thinking about how that applies as a dancer. Also, how you're walking with the pack. And I think about our dance bags that we lug on our shoulders every day and how that's not good for you, and thinking, gosh, wouldn't it be great if they created a good backpack and just crossed it over into the dance world, you know, and get rid of all of these heavy bags that just, again, are yanking on you and pulling on you and, you know, creating imbalances. So just a thought. Anyways, Lisa likes to put the elastic in deeper for more support. Yes, so you can put the elastic way down deep and it will pull on the shoe from down there. And that is really good. For me, when I do that, I forget why it didn't work for me and my feet, but I have seen dancers who do it, and it is wonderful. So consider sometimes getting a longer piece of elastic. Make sure you ask when you are at the shop, say, if you could please double the length of the elastic. You may have to pay for it, but worth it. And then you put it down deeper. You can always cut it down. You can't, you know, lengthen it out, and put it deeper into the shoe to pull up. So yes, Lisa, excellent suggestion. I love it. I really am like curious now. I'm like, hey, movie boy, how did you spend money? And does that mean I can hit people up for money? Is that true? You guys, I gotta tell you, one of the reasons I pulled back from this channel for a minute is because I was starting to get emails from companies saying, oh, would you please make a video about our product and we'll pay you for it? And I'm like, I think I did one. I got very little money, mind you. And I need to go back and make sure I put on there that it was a paid product support thingy, so that, because I know YouTube is cracking down to make sure it doesn't look like, you know, well, this is an ad, and you have to make sure you tell people it's an ad. I think I told people I was getting paid on the video, but I got to make sure. Anyways, I don't like it, because then I'm starting out from the point of, oh, they're paying me, so I need to review it. I feel like I'm, what's the word? Indebted to them. It's incumbent upon me to like their product or support it. And I'm like, nope, I want to just discover products on my own. Like the stretching series I'm working on right now, I'm trying it out for myself. And they were like really excited that I'm doing it. And they're like, that's awesome. If you really like it, you know, we can talk about down the road doing affiliate work, but I'm not an affiliate right now. I am not getting paid to do it. And that way I can talk freely and openly about what I like about it, what I don't like about it, you know, whatever it is. So it was annoying me, and always feeling like, especially they're like, oh, you need to talk about sponsorship. You need to talk about hit that like button. You need to do this and do that. And then I'm like, well, then I'm not doing the channel for why I want to do it. I want to talk to you guys about what I love about ballet, what the challenges are, etc. And someone else can worry about all that extra stuff. But it just, I don't have the person to do that. So I think there's a balance. And if I see one more ad for make your own Wix website, I swear to God, I am tired of that. So, you know, I feel like if anyone wants to be a sponsor, awesome. But I don't want to have to talk about it all the time, you know? Just ridiculous. Maybe there's a way to find a balance. We'll see. And what else was I going to say? I am thinking about offering coaching online. What do you guys think? I've had several people reach out to me and say, would you coach me on this variation? Well, here's the thing, guys. I feel like if we Skyped, it'd be possible, because I need to see what the dancer's doing, A. B, you got to be so careful, because the tricky thing is just bringing in someone who doesn't know your history as a dancer, who may not know your body, whatever. I am not pedagogically trained. I did not go through the full pedagogical training of the Vaganova school or the ABT, which I'm sorry, but I've even seen the ABT curriculum. And I know people who are like, I'm an ABT certified teacher, and they suck. I'm sorry, they suck. And I'm like, I just don't feel like it's right. You have to be really careful who you choose as your teacher, you know, and are they doing the best thing for you? Now, for me as a coach, I do feel comfortable coaching the artistry of it, right? And I'm interested in that. I'm not so interested in how to make you do 4 or 5 turns, how to get your leg higher. I've never been as interested in that. Yeah, for myself, it's always a goal, but I am interested in the artistic portion. So I feel like if anyone wanted coaching on how to get the artistry and the épaulement and their character work for their variations, I'm all for that. I would love to do that. And part of me is like, yeah, I should charge people for it. Part of me is like, I don't know. I should. But I guess first and foremost, I want to know if there's even an interest out there. Is there anyone who'd even be interested in doing a Skype session with work on their character? And then I guess I'd have to figure out what it would cost to do it, and then also how many people need it. So it's just something that I'm tossing around in my head. Elastic. Oh, what is this? Never pick up anything with a string attached. What does that mean? Lisa, what does that mean? Never pick up anything with a string attached. I think I was saying something earlier. Explain. I forget. Lisa, I'm sorry. I was rambling like I tend to do. Ranty, rant. And I don't remember what I was saying. Emily Fiducia. Oh, what's up, Emily? I'm so glad you're here. I love that idea of a backpack that is actually good for you because my back and shoulders are wrecked and dance bags get so heavy. Yes. Right, Emily? Right? I think there is an answer there. I just do. I think it could be great, especially when you are touring, people. Oh my gosh. I was lugging around all these bags, even the wheel bags. They're not great. And again, you take way too much stuff and you just don't need it, The main thing you need is lots of point shoes and warm-ups, right? But I'm going to keep exploring. We'll see. Okay, I finished this elastic. Let's get on with it. That goes back to what you were saying about sponsorship. Yes. True. Very true. Okay, this, guys, just looks like it's not quite, it might be just enough to finish the other elastic. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go, shall we? Because we want to finish this elastic and get the bloody shoe on and get onto the dance floor and get on with it. Get on with it. Okay, so I'm going to be lazy and just do this one where I think I should go. And then we can get on with it because I'm getting really hungry. Another sip of coffee from my Ballerina Badass mug. I have these t-shirts I want to make, you guys, so bad. And it's on the back, nipping up for dancing. 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got to do it. I've got to get them made. I just need to make a couple of one-offs, but I want to show them to you guys and see what you think. I think they're going to be really cool. Now, that is something that, again, I will wear on my videos. And if someone sees it and says, I want one, I can go, oh, well, here's where you go. But again, it's not like, hi, everybody, how you doing? Oh, and while you're at it, buy my shirts and buy my this and buy my that. And you have to do this and do that. Those videos get really annoying really fast to me. So, okay. Oh, we are so... Georgia is kind of rushing this at the end here because she's not liking it. Don't do that, dancers. Don't rush at the end. It's not good. She said rushing it. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Ooh, we have a note. Capizio has a large dance bag that turns into a backpack. Oh, cool. Okay, someone's figured it out. Good. Guys, FYI, someone on here says that there is a Capizio bag that turns into a backpack. I have to go check that out. That sounds fabulous. That's what we're talking about, people. Community. Okay. And then, good. Yeah, I agree. I want to look into that too. Excelente. Okay, get the shoe sewn. So. I don't know if this is going to be enough thread, you guys. We're going to find out. You have to have enough so that it doesn't fall off, right? Otherwise, you got to sew these suckers down tight because with the amount of stress that your shoes go through, things will pop off. I've seen dancers on stage where the ribbon pops off their shoe, the elastic pops off, and it's dangling, and it looks so bad. And then everyone on stage, everyone in the audience is just looking at your elastic, and they can't focus on the dancing. It's distracting. It really is. So you do not want that happening, obviously. I'm just going to finish this guy up. I'm positive I'm going to have to possibly re-sew this elastic later, but I really want to just get the shoe on. See, it's so short now. Kill the point shoe, kill the point shoe. We're so close, people. Ooh, more notes.
Someone else said something. There is a money emoji right below where I am typing this that says show your support. So I'm assuming that is how your hubby sent you 5. Are you kidding? Okay, so I guess I haven't been on YouTube in a while. I didn't know that they just inserted that. That's nice. Ow. Okay. Guys, I tried out that, like, this is the thing. Again, going back to that whole you should. Don't should all over yourself. Someone recommended to me that I do the Musical.ly app. I looked into that. Oh my gosh. There's a dancer on there and she's very popular. And I tried watching her videos and she's like, I'm going to stretch or I'm going to do this. She doesn't do any stretching. She sits there and stares at her phone the whole time. She's like this, looking at the phone and watching all the stuff coming up and going, thanks for the money. Thank you. Da, 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 da. Thank you. Thank you. And like, just, it's like, what? I don't know. So I did not continue Musical.ly. Yeah. I think, again, there are people who they make it work for themselves and they like it. You got to find what works for you, whatever it is. Good for you. I was not feeling it. Okay, get through this one's a little tricky. There we go. That's where we want to go, right through there. I want to make sure I don't catch the ribbon the wrong way. Try not to stab yourself so that you get blood on your shoes. Again, when you're in a rush, all these things happen. But I am making it work because there's this little bit of thread left. Yes, one more stitch. Oh, this is great. Yep. Yay! Just enough, people. Just enough. Okay. And now we finish it off with another little knot. Not too shabby. My stomach is about to growl. I'm just saying. Oh, there it goes. Growl. There. Ah. Okay. Put you here. Trim. I take my needle. I pop it right back into the dental floss box, right through the hole like that. And I go bloop. So the needle's right there waiting for me. And if it goes down into it, you can pull the plastic thing out and pull it back out again. Oftentimes I'll leave it with thread so I can just pull it out quickly. So here's the shoe with the crossed elastic. Again, I'm not certain I'm going to even keep the cross. I don't know if I'm going to like it. We're going to put it on and try it out and see what we think. We shall see. I haven't done it in a while. So pull up the awesome sweatpants that are just so attractive. So attractive. Full disclosure, these were my mom's sweatpants. When I got them after she passed away, they were like in really good condition. I've worn them out, so now they're like a mess, but they're my mom's, so guess what? I'm not getting rid of them. Yeah, okay. Oh, and here's the elastic. The elastic, the ribbons. Oh my gosh. Wrappy wrap. It's so weird because I'm so used to even though I've used this before, I still have a weird time wrapping it around where they're so stretchy. Ah, okay, try again. Here, there we go. So we're pulling them up. So far, so good. Again, you want to make sure you can flex and point and feel like you're not getting your ankle cut off. There we go. I don't want to cut too much off because, again, I want to make sure I leave enough extra that on certain days I can tie them a little looser. So I've trimmed them. Now we're not going on for a performance, so I'm just going to roll them, roll and tuck, roll and tuck, roll and tuck, nice and tucked. So as you can see, I've already got them probably way too tight here, but I'm going to leave it for now just to see what it looks like on the stage. So here we go, people. Oh, so attractive. Let's turn the boo-boo thingy. Turn in the boo-boo thingy. Yeah. So not warmed up. Yeah. Okay, I feel pressure on my ankle. I don't like that. Get off of there. That's just going to have to be with warming up, etc. Let's see if we can get to move back a bit. Can we? A little out of the way. And make sure we have it steady with a sandbag so it does not fall over. And I don't know if you guys can see. Here's the shoe. Okay. Oh, that feels good. I mean, as good as a point you can feel on a Sunday morning when you haven't warmed up yet. And let's go. Woo!
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. What do you guys think? Thoughts and feelings? Any shade? You can throw it all you want. I don't care. I'm happy. Ha ha ha. That is really nice. Now this is good. You guys, this is something to check. You want to see how is the elastic holding up when you're rolling through? Is it, because a lot of times, again, and I can feel it, the heel wants to pop off, but luckily the shoe is fitting well enough, it's not gonna. You can always put a little bit of rosin back there to hold the heel up, but you have to be careful because sometimes that can actually cause more rubbing and you'll end up getting worse blisters. So you have to be so careful about finding that balance, right? So let's see. Again, I don't, I need to put another point shoe on just to be safe because I'll do that. I'll like mess it up. I'll put on the other one. It's not sewn. Here, no, you know what, you guys? I'm putting on an old one. Let's put on an oldie, but a goodie. This is an old Russian point that I'll wear sometimes just to warm up, but that way I've got a shoe on each foot. I don't recommend just doing one shoe. Inevitably, I'll like try to stand on my other foot and then you break your toes. It's not fun. Not literally break them, but it hurts. So there's the Russian point. All right. Yeah, they're comfortable. And see, I just did like a one elastic on that because I was just using them kind of like ballet slippers to roll through and work on. But let's see here. Okay. Yep. Oh, good. See, this is what I like. What I notice on the Suffolk, on my right foot, my ankles, again, I have super, weak, wobbly ankles. I'm always working on it. But because of this nice wide platform, whereas normally I'd roll off the shoe, it's holding me back on whenever I feel my weight slightly shifting. So that's really nice. So for balance, oh my God, is that light just driving you guys nuts because it's right in your eyes? It must be. I know it would be for me. Get out of their faces. Away, away. That might be a little better. Sorry, guys. Okay. We need more professional lighting. I know, blah, blah, blah. But just feeling this. Oh, you guys. I'm not warm. Too bad. Try again. Suck it in. It already feels fantastic. Oh my gosh. Now you're just watching my technique, which I know is in question here. So it definitely feels really good as opposed to that smaller footprint or point, I guess, toe print on the other shoe. But that is my Suffolk. I feel good about where the elastic is. Rolling through. Let's definitely give it a try. Oh my God, I'm so not warm, you guys. But let's do some careful plie. See right here. This is where, now notice on the left foot, you're going to see that heel pop off. Obviously, it doesn't have much elastic supporting it, right? You guys can see that. But through this foot, it's holding on beautifully. Okay, so I'm going to roll through. Oh, yeah. Happiness is a warm point shoe. And up, and up, and up, and up. Oh, you guys, I like it. My feet are not happy with me because I have not properly warmed up, so I'm going to stop because I don't want to have an injury. No bueno. Here's what it is looking like here. That's okay. This foot, my right foot, it's like if I'm going to the front, I do this, and then you look at the side, and you're like, is it as good? I don't know. I'm so hard on myself. Too bad. Let's stop while we're ahead. I need to get inside and have some delicious breakfast with my family, so I'm going to go. Let's see if there's any more major comments. Let's see. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Those ribbons look gorgeous. Thank you, Lisa. Lisa and Vicky at Activity Point in Torrance, California. Thank you so much for these Suffolk shoes. I love them. Again, everybody, these are the Suffolk Spotlights. All right. I really am excited to try them out. I do want to darn the edge for extra balance, and not just balance, but it'll also just make the shoe last longer. So I'm going to do that. And I'm really excited to try them out in class and see how they feel. So we shall see. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, the wings are higher, definitely, which I think is really good for me, especially with my bunions. It just gives me the support that I need
and for my high arches. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me on this Pointe shoe party. I love you all. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment box below. Come back and watch this video later. You can always come back for more ideas. I love that about YouTube, you know, I do it all the time. And yeah, I can't wait to see what the next videos are going to be for you guys. So have a fantastic day. Whoop, we got another thing. Got to go myself. Yep. Oh, good. I'm glad. I am so glad you guys learned stuff from this. Oops. Silent lurker. Oh, thank you. Thank you, silent lurker. Thanks, you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I just appreciate all of you being here and watching and continuing on the journey of, you know, just never give up, never stop dancing. I love you all. Toy, toy, toy. This is Ballerina Badass. You've been watching Georgia Reed. You know the whole thing. I'm so hungry. Okay, bye. Yes, I'm sure I want to